So I don't think it's such an important factor at this point in time.
Okay. And how much will be an important factor about the fact that the DIs have been, net buyers? That's the pure retail money which is coming back into the markets. You've seen almost 23,000 crores put in, Y2D from the domestic insurance companies and mutual funds. Will that be a force to reckon with, you believe, in the months and years to come?
Look, I think it's an extraordinary moment in Indian capital markets, right? If you look at the WPI, we are running at -2 or 2.5%. So the real rates in India are at a positive almost 10%. Leave aside CPI for a moment, but I'm just talking about it from a WPI. And when the real rates are so positive, there is absolutely no other choice asset market for people to invest in except for the capital markets, for the financial markets. Now, this could be fixed income, this could be equities, this could be anything. The last 10 years, the entire story for India was investors, because of negative real rates, investing in physical assets, investing in real estate, investing in gold. And I think the next 10 years, looking at the fact that inflation has been brought under control and the fiscal balance sheet has been right-sized, the current account is in control, I think it's going to be all about investors investing in financial instruments, including equity markets. We got $50 billion of domestic money in the last 10 years. It can be 4 times that much in the next 10 to 12 years. And at least that's our house view also.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. Let's talk about some of the speakers who attended your conference. I mean, you just spoke about the railway minister and the key takeaways from there. But what about Anil Swarup? I mean, he has been one of the most hands-on ministers in the last, say, 6 to 8 months. A lot of work is being done on the coal front. What were your key takeaways from that?
The first and the most important key takeaway is that the talent pool in our Indian administrative services is extraordinary. Their ability to understand technology and apply technology to the business of government, which has never been done before. Now that they've got the flexibility and the liberty to do so, they are going all out and making it happen. Just imagine, if you look at Anil Swarup's background itself, in the last 20 years that he has been working on different projects. First, the National Health Insurance Scheme, then the person in charge of the project monitoring group, and now as the call secretary.
Here comes the man. Okay, we have someone else who's joining. He was just telling us something very interesting. You want to interrupt him?
So let me just finish. So now as the call secretary, he takes over as the call secretary in November, and then within the next subsequent few months, India does the most revolutionary round of reforms that has ever happened. That is an e-auction of calls. It's never been thought about before. It's never been executed before in a span of 4 to 6 months. And how much value gets unlocked? $60 billion of value unlocked without minimal controversy. So I think it's extraordinary. I just think it's extraordinary the way some of our administrative services people work. And we saw another example of that in the UID presentation and the way they have gone about enrolling more and more people. So I think it's very exciting.
Okay, so there's somebody who's a little more optimistic than you. I thought you were the eternal optimist, but here we have a hardcore optimist on the markets and on the economy.
He was pessimistic till last year. I think rhythms, rub off has finally rubbed off in the other way around. The other way around? Oh, okay.
Sanjay is my...
And how much of your fitness thing is rubbing off to all your entire team? He's also become quite...
Unfortunately, I'm not convinced anybody of that, but we'll get there.
Okay, so there was another speaker, Sadhguru, and I think by far he was the most riveting speaker. I saw the interview that Sadhguru had with Lata, and I hear you're a big Sadhguru fan, but for an investor, from an investing point of view, were there any key tips that, apart from, of course, doing yoga and, staying away from the market
No, there is a method to the madness, right? So I think we sometimes look upon things like investing in self-transformation as esoteric things. What do we do through the day, right? We try to pick stocks, we try to research, we try to meet management. We're stressed out. We're stressed out throughout the day. And because we're stressed out doing multiple things, we have actually started confusing productivity with activity. So what is Sadhguru saying? He's saying that productivity is not necessarily linked with activity. Take a step back, do what you need to do, start thinking about the efficacy of what you are doing, and start to focus on what you are doing. Is that not the best way to invest? Be it investing in yourself, be it investing in stocks, be it investing in an asset class. So I think that was really the message we wanted to give to the investing community through the conduit of Sadhguru.
Okay.
And I think we succeeded very well in that.
Well, we'll take this offline. This is a very interesting discussion, but as of now, as we speak, the markets are falling. So I'm going to ask you what your view is on the global setup, because the joker in the pack clearly was China in this, in 2015 so far. For the rest of the year, do you see a lot of flows move out of India and into other markets? And what would the preferred list look like?
So I think to be fair, at this point in time, there is no beta play for India. There is a huge beta play for China because of the connect that they have done with the A shares, and there's a lot of flow going out there. There's a significant beta play in some of the other markets also. Till the Indian economy starts improving and it goes into the second, third gear of the growth, and the investment cycle picks up, it's fair to say that the beta play is not there. So India is all about stock picking and trying to find the alpha opportunity. I don't think flows will go away from India and go into China, but it will be fair to say that for the time being, the flows will be slightly more subdued into India, and there will be a slightly more accelerated set of flows into China. But as a house, contrary to the flows, we have taken a very different and an unusual stance. We have actually downgraded China from our preferred market, and India in the emerging markets context is our most preferred market at this point in time. So we are willing to wait out the next few months. We are willing to go contrary to the flows that we see panning out and still remain very positive, in fact more positive on India.
So Sonia, I told you guys were all locked up in your studio feeling depressed. Come to the Morgan Stanley Summit and you will feel a lot better.
Big dose of optimism that we get.
But Rhythm, tell us, when will the beta come? He said,
no, I don't want to tell you anything. I want to ask you a question, okay? So now I'm taking over as the anchor of this show, okay?
Guest anchor.
Right? Is that my camera or is that my camera?
You can look at
I don't know what's happening.
So I'm taking over as the anchor.
You want me to go out?
No, you can stay.
You can start by asking him a question because he's the expert.
Ladies first, Sonia. First question to you. I want to know what your view on the market is. Where do you think this is going? Where do you think this is going to find a flow?
Are you serious?
I am
no one has
serious.
ever asked me that
I have
question.
just taken over. We're on live television.
Okay, so I think that the market will head lower in the near term. Yeah, it will. Because there's nothing to be positive about, at least now. I haven't seen any recovery in the earnings cycle
Where do
at
you
all.
think this is going?
Where do you think this is going?
No. I will come to him later.
No, I mean, until I don't see recovery. See, I track a lot of companies and I see that the earnings every quarter are just moving lower. Until I don't see any concrete recovery, I don't think the market has any reason to move.
Yeah, we are missing the woods, we are focusing on the trees.
So what, okay, what are the woods?
Sonia, where will we be in a year from now? Do you think it will be different or it will still be a market that will struggle?
In a year from now, we'll be higher than where we are.
Somewhere like a level? Do you have a level?
No, I know.
Check the Rhythm's level of
30,000 and the
33,000.
No, that is on my level. But anyway, Nimish, you agree with her that it's going to go lower before it goes higher?
I agree with that.
Yeah? Why is that?
A few reasons why I feel the markets are headed lower, at least in the near term. One, of course, is the big beta play, which Sanjay spoke about. Technical levels are weak, earnings are not supporting. While there is a lot of things which this Modi government has done on ground, but the feedback which I get from a lot of the investors is it is going to take time for us to see the fruit. So probably, we are heading for this another 4-5% down from these levels. But if you ask me, probably this is the best time to look for long-term investments in India.
So you have heard it from the CNBC anchors. They think the market is going down. They think that we have further weakness in the pipeline. There's further weakness in the pipeline. But of course, both Sonia and Nimish are positive if you have a slightly longer-term tenure. Sonia is refusing to put a level. Nimish, do you have a level?
No, I don't want to share any level.
I think they're constrained. They're constrained by their channel policies for revealing a level.
But we won't have a job after we leave from here. We start giving levels.
I don't want to comment on any stocks. I think you don't want to comment on any level.
So my next question. Yeah, sorry, you were.
So next question.
Yeah, it's for Sanjay. I'm hosting it. Let me manage this. Let me take Sanjay next.
Your jobs are at risk, by the way.
It's always at risk when he is our guest.
I'm enjoying this. Go ahead.
So Sanjay, do you agree with them?